Hey, book besties. Welcome to More Than a Book Club podcast. I'm your host, Leyna.
And I'm your other host, LJ.
And we were just talking before we jumped on here about our last episode because we had recorded it after we'd had several glasses of wine.
Okay, not too much, in case anyone that I work with is listening. Not too much. And it was over several hours.
We're not,
so
responsible.
We drank responsibly, I promise. Oh my God, I'm going to end up on a mom group or something. Anyway, please no. No, we had some wine at the winery and we came home and the funniest thing, Leyna was telling me as she was editing what she noticed, and maybe it was the late night too. Okay.
So I do usually go to bed around 10 o'clock, asleep by 11 for sure.
Yeah.
And we started recording at 10 o'clock. I think it was 9:50. So.
And how long did we talk till? Because I know you had to edit stuff out.
It was at least an hour and a half that we talked.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit more, but I had to edit stuff out. And I was telling LJ, the thing that I noticed as I was listening, editing, and then I listened to the episode too, was that we talked slower. We were very slow and deliberate with our words. And what did you notice, LJ?
I was listening and I was like, wow, I've never used that word before. And I don't remember what it was now, but it was like fancy, big vocabulary. And don't get me wrong, I know those words, but I sounded a bit pretentious talking about true crime.
We don't usually just pop those out all the time. So there was a couple times that I noticed it too, because I was like, it was both of us. Both of us were using big words. So
I don't know. It's so funny that of all of the things, the episode about true crime, I don't know, maybe we were inspired by these, I don't know,
Ted Bundy and his smartness, because he was
smart.
I don't know.
He was, and Ronan Farrow and the stuff that he talked about, all the things. So I don't know. But yeah, we must have talked a long time because I've only listened to 22 minutes and there's still an hour and 1 minute and 24 seconds left. So yeah, we
talked
did
for
talk
a long time.
So if you
it was a fun episode though.
It was a fun episode. So if you like true crime, you should totally listen to us non-professional true crime people talking about it. Even though I'm a huge fan, it's not like you're listening to a true crime podcast because I'm not skilled at that, but we had fun.
We did have fun.
So yeah.
But this week has been crazy because it is your back to school week. I feel like we tried so hard to make it so that we didn't have to record this week, but somehow we still ended up recording.
We did, but Leyna was so nice and was like, do you want to wait until Saturday? And I was like, yes, please, because I think it was Monday night. Monday night I went to bed real early. When was it?
I feel like you have gone to bed before 7 o'clock.
On
Monday,
multiple nights.
Tuesday.
It was
maybe
ridiculous.
Not Tuesday, because I know one night you had to do
Tuesday.
a teacher, meet the teacher, walk the bell schedule night.
That was the week before.
Okay.
But yes,
okay.
I think there were multiple nights between the last 2 weeks that I fell asleep before 7. There was at least one that it was before 6. And then I'm feeling more awake for the most part, but I had managed to read. I was at 75%, and that night I was so tired. And before I could even ask, Leyna was like, hey, do you want to record another night? And I'm like, yes, please. Because then I didn't need to finish. I wanted to finish the last 25%, but I was so sleepy. I was like, I'm not going to enjoy it. And so I did. I finished it actually last night, and it was delightful. So,
and we're talking about our Busybody Book Club book.
Yes,
that was our
that we're going to talk about
July book club book that we're talking about in August. There are no rules.
There's no rules. No.
Sometimes that's just how it rolls. And in real life, we are also meeting with our book club tomorrow. And I was like, we should probably talk about it with our book club because we haven't talked about it yet.
No, we haven't. But since we last recorded, which was that almost 2 weeks ago? No, that was like a week ago. I don't know when
last Friday.
Okay, so like a week ago.
It was a week.
The days are, but either way.
It all blurs.
It all blurs. What have you been up to literary lately? Because I know you were in the middle of at least one book back then.
I finished Dungeon Crawler Carl. I will definitely read the second book in the series.
Awesome.
So it starts off and the guy is going through, it's supposed to be like 18 levels, and he only makes it through a couple. And as I was reading it, I'm like, okay, he has to like you either die or you make it through all these different levels. So I'm assuming, since there's other books in the series, that, and he hasn't made it through very many levels, that that's gonna be the continuation of his journey. But it was a very enjoyable book. It was I would call it a popcorn read. Like, it's not something that you're gonna have to sit there and think about a lot, but it was fun. It was a different universe, kind of that sci-fi type thing. So that was really fun.
Cool.
I finished Take My Hand, which was the historical nonfiction, and that one made me want to just do a lot of research.
That's cool.
So I think I had told you all the story was about a lady who was African American. She was a nurse at a family planning clinic in,
yes,
I think it was Mississippi, might have been Alabama. I can't remember which one now. But either way, she is giving birth control to an 11-year-old. And then it turns out that they have been giving birth control to these kids, not because they're sexually active, but just in case they do.
Right.
And the story, it follows the true story of two girls were on Depo-Provera shots, and then their nurse came and took them, like the nurse manager, and sterilized them. And so this is a true life story. These girls are still alive. They're in their, I think, 60s now, but they were sterilized because they were poor and Black. And this started a federal court case about sterilizing poor, usually people of color. There were some, Caucasians as well, but majority of them were people of color, and sterilizing them. And it was just against their will. Like,
yeah,
they didn't want this, but they thought that they had to. Anyway, it was a very interesting read. It made me want to go learn. Then I read How Freaking Romantic, which was so much fun. It was the main character is a girl who's going to law school, and her best friend is getting divorced. And the lawyer for her best friend's soon-to-be ex-husband is seeking alimony from her friend. So she gets mad and she storms into his office, yells at him, calls him all kinds of names. And then it turns out that the person that she TAs for is going on a medical leave, and he's going to be filling in as the professor. So they have to work together. So it's enemies to lovers, forced proxy, like all the bits were there to make it very, very fun. It was a smart, like the character was really smart and intelligent and funny. I really enjoyed it. So that was really good.
Fun.
And then this one, I feel like it might have a discussion here. I read Morning Glory Milking Farm, which you're looking at me like that. It is a very spicy erotica level book. Minotaur romance. Our friend Allie had read it, and I was like, that does not sound good. And then I was on Instagram, and some Instagram reel, it was a guy. He was talking about it, and he was like, I discounted this book, but then it's talking about, this girl and her life, and it has so much depth to it, and it's really good, and there's so much more than just the sex component. And I was like, okay, I'll read it. I'm not going to listen to Instagram stories anymore.
I was about to say, I was like, Leyna, if you tell me that this person was right and this book, a Minotaur erotica romance, was deep,
so
I was going to be like, oh my gosh.
The whole thing is, it was an interesting world. I will give them that. Like the author did create a world, and there's several books in this series now.
Yeah.
Where it's talking about the different, because there's like Mothman, there's lizard people, there's all kinds of different characters. But this particular story was, the main character was a human, and she goes to work at the Morning Glory milking farm, and they are milking minotaurs.
Oh my God.
So if you have children with you in the car, if you're listening, maybe like fast forward a little bit. But
I want to fast forward too. I'm just kidding. Kind of.
They kept saying, this isn't a sexual job. This isn't sex work. And I'm like, if you have to keep saying this isn't sex work, maybe it's sex work. And they kept saying, like, because they're milking the minotaurs, and I'll let you guess what part of the anatomy of the male minotaurs they are milking.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
So
I don't want to imagine.
it goes into very vivid description
Oh
of
my gosh.
them doing this. And it's Minotaur after Minotaur after Minotaur. But of course, she falls in love with one. And she's talking about how it's not sex work. But then it becomes like, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It was just messy, literally. Because
Yeah, oh my gosh. No, for a second, I was like, okay, Minotaurs are not where it's half man, half horse.
no, it's
No.
half man, half bull. And so his head is a bull.
Yeah, I see that. The internet is showing me that.
And he has
I'm like
a human body.
but with a no.
And he has a tail. He does have a tail.
Oh my God.
And yeah. There's a scene, and this is, I was like, this is over the line. He uses his tongue, and it's a bovine tongue. I don't know if you've ever seen
God.
a cow tongue.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And I was like,
can't.
I cannot. And our friend Allie had said I think she had said it was kind of funny, and she enjoys monster romance, but I was like, I don't think this is for me. The whole time I was I think I listened to it
either.
at 1.75 speed because I was like, I just want to be done with it.
I can't. Oh, you listened to it too. Oh, so you couldn't like skip through some
I couldn't
pages.
skip it.
Oh my gosh.
And that was one that I was like, I cannot listen to this at work. This was, yeah.
Oh my gosh, Leyna. I'm so glad that you waited
out
to
of
tell
my
me
comfort
this.
zone.
I am so glad you waited to tell me to get a real reaction because I was shocked when you said that. Because I tried to read that Wet Hot Allosaurus Summer remember
yes.
remember we got her to record herself reading part of it for us, and I made it like until like the dinosaur was hungry and she's like, here, you can have a bite of my arm, and I was like, I
that
can't
one
do
okay
this.
So it is weird because whenever he makes, they call him deposits, whenever he makes his deposit, because isn't
that what they call it at like a sperm
bank
too?
And that's what so they started out, and it's very sterile, and she's like, and now we're gonna deep clean the room, and we're gonna get our containers ready and our lab specimen cups and blah blah blah. But then she's greasing up her hands.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Couldn't they just milk themselves?
Well, where's the fun in that?
Okay, no, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Where's the smutty romance in that?
Right. I mean, there wouldn't be a book probably about that, I guess. But anyway.
Yes.
It's fine. I'm fine. You're fine. We're fine.
If you want to have a Minotaur romance, there you go. And I will say, that being said, if you took out all of the sex work, not sex work, because I'm like, she's giving.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not going to say it, but she's doing things. And I'm like, that's, yeah. But the main characters, I really liked the guy, the Minotaur. Like, he was so nice. Like, it turned into this, like, he was a sweet, upstanding citizen.
Minotaur.
Like, he was looking for a long-term relationship, like, all the things.
But were you picturing a Minotaur head every time?
Whenever they talked about, no, until they talked about the tongue part. And I was like, nope, can't get past it.
Okay.
Can't get past it.
Fair enough.
So, okay, we can move on from that. But I did check that off. That was one of the boxes on our bingo card, was to read a book that social media told you to read. And so I read that one, and I can now firmly say that I'm not going to listen to social media anymore about what books to read.
I would not either after that. Is there anything else? Anything else, or is that
so?
Because that would be a great one to end on. I'm just saying.
That's all that I've finished. I am.
Oh, but you've been doing some. Well, yeah. Tell us what you're reading, but then you've also been doing some cool bookish things. So go ahead.
So I am currently reading the 4th book, The Shadow Princess in the Zodiac Academy, because I had said that I would read it with you months ago. And then my friend Robin, who I had told about this series, she has just like sped through them. She's like, these are so good, like devoured them. And she's like, you haven't read the fourth one yet? And I was like, okay, fine,
No.
I'll read it. So I'm almost done with that, really enjoying it. And then I'm also reading a book called Culpability for the Neighbor Books Book Club.
Oh, yeah,
It's
I think you told me you were
by
going to
the
read
same
that.
author who wrote The Displacements, which was a
Oh,
near
that was a good
future
book.
dystopian about like
Mm-hmm.
weather climate issues.
Mm-hmm.
And this is more, Culpability is about AI.
Oh,
So
interesting.
they get into a car crash with a autonomous car. They're driving the autonomous car and they get into a car crash. And then now things are coming out. Everybody has secrets in the family. So that's what I'm
Interesting.
listening to. But I think one of the coolest things that has happened recently is my husband and I had our 23rd wedding anniversary. And
Woohoo!
during our supper, we were talking about kind of like what we wanted to do for the next year, activities, different ideas. And he was like, our friends, my friend Robin, her and her
Mm-hmm.
husband had talked about, they read a book together and like they
Yes.
each read it and they talked about it. And he was like, I really like the idea of doing that. And I was like, okay, this might be difficult because we've been together in January. It'll be 25 years, married 23. He has read 2 books.
Yep.
And his 2 books are Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson and Aragon by Christopher Paolini. So not even
Awesome.
close to being related. So very different. So I asked my book club and then I asked my neighbor book club for some ideas. And then I
Mm-hmm.
had some ideas too. And I put them all together and I made a PowerPoint. I
You did, and I'm
literally
just now.
made a PowerPoint.
No, I literally just remembered that because I saw it when I couldn't look at it, and this is adorable, by the way. I'm looking at it right now. Oh, I
So
see
I
one that
did
I want.
the
The first one I want you
synopsis,
to pick.
the star rating, and then a picture of the book. Um, and I
Mm-hmm.
had all the different books on there. And he had said that he was interested in fantasy, possibly high fantasy.
Yeah.
Um, but my one issue with that is high fantasy is usually high page count.
Yep.
So I was a little bit hesitant with that. Um, Gave him a big list. I
You
think there
really
was
did.
like
One,
maybe,
two, three, four, five, six. You gave him 6 options.
so gave him some good options. Finally came down to Mistborn by
Okay.
Brandon Sanderson. And what's the other one? The guy that wrote The Martian.
Project Hail Mary
Project Hail Mary.
by
So
Andy Weir or
by
Ware,
Andy
however
Weir.
you say
So
it.
it was between those two. And so we talked
Okay.
about it and we went back and forth because he was like, Mistborn is a series. Project Hail Mary has a movie coming out, but I don't know if I want to watch the movie first or read the book first or you know what. So I know what you're hoping for.
But y'all didn't pick it, did you?
We did not
He
pick
picked.
it. He picked
Ah,
Mistborn.
darn. But I've
We,
heard amazing things about Mistborn. Like, it's on my list to read eventually.
and I have never read anything by Brandon Sanderson, so I'm
I
excited
haven't
about
either.
that. And I know that he's a huge, is it, he's fantasy, right? Huge
Yeah. Oh,
fantasy,
yeah.
sci-fi
And
type stuff.
that
So
series, I think, is considered, if not the best, one of the best fantasy series of like all time. That and what's the one that uh The Wheel of Time is another one, which I
yes.
read 100 pages of the first book and literally nothing happened. Like they moved like a foot on the road.
And one of Derek's things that he had said was that he didn't want to read romantasy. He was like, I don't want to read about
Fair
dragons or
enough.
fairies. And I'm like, well, let me tell you about this Morning Glory book I'm reading. And he was like, I'm definitely not reading that with you.
Right, right.
And he also said that he didn't want something that had like 30 books. And so Mistborn has 3. So I was like,
Okay.
that's,
So, you know, it's doable.
and
It's
I
not so
did tell
scary.
him because he was like, well, we have to choose one. And I was like, okay, you could read one. And then if you decide you like it, you could read another book. I was like, you could read more
This could
than
be
one
the start.
of
This
a
could be the
lifelong
start.
love.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we're
I
going to
hope it
go,
is.
I think tomorrow. So tomorrow our plans are to go actually to our book club, like our real life
Mhm.
book club.
Yes,
So
we are.
while I'm down there, I'm going to go to Neighbor Books and see if I can order Mistborn if they don't have it in stock because I
Very
need 2
cool.
copies. So
Yes, you do.
And it is
That
a
is fun.
thick book. It's like 500 something pages.
Mm-hmm.
And I've committed to reading it because, I'm not a big book girl.
No,
But
you're not. So I'm
I'm going
proud
to
of
do it.
you.
I'm going to
You're
do
going
it.
to do it. It's going to be fun.
It will be.
Hopefully.
So what have you been doing literary lately other than going to school and reading rosters?
Right, I know. So I did finish the book, the Busybody Book Club. Ignore the bookmark in there because I switched to digital because it's just easier at night when I was reading. Um, but I have not read anything else at all. But we have something big that happened. We call her Chris because that's what she goes by, but
Yes,
Christine
Chris.
Wellert, her book Beach Club Bloodshed, a Summer Jenkins cozy mystery, came out on Amazon.
So if you haven't
Woohoo!
gotten it yet, if you didn't pre-order it, you can go get it. And she
Uh-huh.
was actually talking about getting it on the Kindle. That's where she
Yes.
gets the most
Okay, so
money from.
here I have a plan. I have a
Okay.
plan for
What's your
how to
plan?
get her the most money because it's on Kindle Unlimited. So here's what you do first. You read it on Kindle Unlimited and then
Go buy it.
you purchase the book. Because if you just purchase it, she's not going to get the Kindle Unlimited credit.
Mhm.
But if you do Kindle Unlimited first, she'll get credit for that, and be sure to actually read it. Don't just click through because I think Amazon flags that, which I'm planning to read it. So but I'm telling you from what I've heard from other authors. And then make sure you click all the way through to the end, like acknowledgments. If you don't usually read those, keep going. And then after that, I don't know if you have to return it for her to get credit or not, but whatever. And then purchase it, and you can get both the ebook and the paperback. I don't know if it's on audio, Lena, because I was
It's
just like,
not.
okay, because
But
I'm going to get both of those.
I need to read more books on my Kindle because I got my Kindle for my birthday.
Yes, you do.
And I'm like, I need to do it. So that's my goal,
But
is
yeah,
to read that one
but
next.
but I thought I would read what it's about because now that so I was all like, I am so caught up. I can read whatever I want. And then guess what? Our August book club is Sense and Sensibility, and it's already
August
half
16th today.
it's August 16th today, so we're already halfway through. So I'm like,
Well, I
okay,
haven't
but I mean
started it either, so
okay. Well, and
I
you
don't know
might
if I'm
not read
going
it
to.
though. I know, but
I have committed to watching the movie.
yeah.
We're going to go
Yeah.
from there.
Okay, worst case, if I don't get it read in time for, well, I mean, we're probably not going to talk about it till next month anyway, so it's fine. But I know it pretty well, but I do want to read it. But I wanted to read this because I've decided, I was like, this is what I want to read next. So whatever, I just forgot the word, obligations, whatever I have coming up, screw it. I'm reading this next. So here we go. Summer Jenkins' day just went from bad to a downright dumpster fire. First, there's the dead body covered in stab wounds. Then she finds out her best friend Lainey is missing and considered a person of interest in the murder. With Lainey MIA, everyone is looking to Summer for answers, including one hunk of a detective, Cole Peterson. Detective Hottie Peterson is a complication Summer doesn't need right now. He senses Summer's hiding something behind those pretty blue eyes, but when she becomes a victim of a hit and run, all of his protective instincts emerge as Summer gets drawn farther into the web of intrigue. As the accidents start to pile up, Summer takes matters into her own hands and lands herself in hot water with Yakuza boss, a Russian oligarch, and Auntie Miriam. She can't decide who's scarier. With the stunning backdrop of Big Island's, I don't know how to say these things, Kahala, is that right? Kohala? Coast?
I'm not sure.
Okay, you've been to Hawaii. Your husband is Hawaiian.
I'm
You
not
should just know this
looking
stuff.
at it.
Okay, anyway. However is the right way to say it. A cast of quirky characters, this story is anything but a typical murder mystery. Beach Club Bloodshed will keep you on the edge of your seat as Summer and her friends race against time to solve the murder and clear their names. But with danger lurking around every corner and unexpected twists at every turn, will they be able to crack the case before it's too late? So that is my plan. And I just want to point out that it says a Summer Jenkins cozy mystery. And you know what that means. There's going to be more.
She has already finished the second one, and it's coming out, I believe, December. And she's already finished the third. She just finished the third. So
Oh my
this
gosh, I'm
is
so
a
excited.
series that she is working on. So I am very excited to start reading it. I have not gotten to yet. It's been out for 2 days. So I'm giving myself some, I'm like, we'll
Yes,
get there.
yes. You
But
will. You will.
I'm dig. So Culpability is my book club book for Neighbor Book. So I'm like, I have to finish that one before we have book
Mm-hmm.
club. So
Yes. That's so fun.
that's where I am. But yeah, that's exciting. And we also want to give a shout out to Chris because she is super sweet. She is the one who has done the Ink and Aura book club. It's a book club
Mm-hmm.
for writers. And so we talk for a little bit about books, about indie authors, and then we also do some writing sprints and different things like that. I've been participating in that. And she's been kind of the driving force behind that. And then she's also been writing all these books. And she's also a supporter of the podcast.
Yes,
So
she is.
she was very generous and supported our podcast. And we want to thank her for that. And if anybody
Yes,
else
thank you.
wants to support our podcast, we are trying to go. We are going to go to Austin in
Woohoo.
November.
We
And
are.
we're going to go to the Texas Book Festival. But we want to do more fun things like that. Um,
We want to be able to bring more to the podcast. We would love if, we didn't have to use our own money to purchase our bookmarks and our business cards. I was about to say note cards. They're not note cards.
and
They're
just
business cards. And the
doing a
platform,
podcast, it
we're,
costs money.
it
But
does cost
so
money.
even a few dollars, if you're interested, we definitely would love to have some support. It's in the show notes, buymeacoffee.com
Mm-hmm.
for More Than a Book Club pod. And we're also going to, on our Instagram, have a Venmo. You can just
Mm-hmm.
Venmo me. But
Yeah, because my Venmo does not work. I don't know why. Like so this is what I think happened. Actually, I know. I'm pretty sure this is the reason. We had our bank account on my ex-husband, like his Venmo. And then I had one when I did Plexus. Yes, I was a Plexus ambassador and I did quite well, if I do say so myself. But anyway, that's a whole different thing. Anyway, I had an account there. Well, then I closed the account that I had for that. And then we got divorced and he got a new Venmo, I think, but it will not let me attach the bank account to it.
mm.
So it's fine. Leyna will get all the money and then she's going to embezzle it and run away and
I'm going to go
because
do all the fun literary activities without you,
yes,
LJ.
yes. I mean, it's just the beginning of a true crime episode. It's fine. But no, for real, we appreciate any and all support just to help us do this. I mean, this really is for fun. We wouldn't mind if it, became more
If
than
we were
that.
also having fun and, if it was
Making money.
self-supporting.
Yes, and then we could go travel to more bookish events too, and buy more books to talk about on here.
Yes,
Hey, just
that's a big thing.
saying.
There you go.
It is a big thing. So yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of what we've been doing literary lately. And
Yep.
you did finish the book, LJ, so we can
I
talk
did.
about it.
We can talk
And
about it. I
we
already
are
started
talking about the Busybody Book Club by Freya Sampson.
Mhm.
And she's written a couple of other books too.
Yeah, because they're I'm guessing it's at the end of this one too. No, maybe not. On the ebook, it had.
Yes.
Oh, no, it does.
So
It
The
has
Nosy
a
Neighbors.
preview of the Nosy Neighbors. Yes.
And then she
So,
also did, I think it was The Last Chance Library.
I mean, I would be willing to read another one of hers
Yes.
because, like you said, it was Agatha Christie, but a cozy mystery.
Yes.
Like, and
It
I
felt
don't
very
normally like
fall.
cozy mysteries and very fall. I don't usually like cozy mysteries, by the way.
Really?
No, not unless you count Stephanie Plum, but I don't count.
Okay.
That's just like humorous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Actually, I would feel like this is more humorous than cozy mystery because
It was
when
a
I
little
think
bit of
cozy,
both. Yeah.
it was, but I think it had. When I think cozy mystery, I mean, I guess the Joanne Fluke or
Mhm.
whatever her name is, and maybe it's because I got annoyed with that love triangle.
Yeah. And when I think of cozy mystery, I think of, yes, someone dies, but it's not graphic on the page. It
Okay, maybe
is
I need to reframe what I think it is.
fun characters that, like, these characters I felt like drove the whole plot
They
of the
did.
book. Like,
Oh, they did.
they were so amazing, and each of them had their very distinct personalities,
Mm-hmm.
and they were so different. And it all starts
Yes.
with the main character, Nova,
Mm-hmm.
she works at a community center, and they're
Yes.
in St. Tredick. I think that's
I don't know how to say it,
somewhere
but
in
sure.
England. But they're in St. Tredick, and this community center is kind of like the lifeline for several people, and it's where
Mm-hmm.
people go
Of all ages.
all ages. And so she has started this book club, and there's several members. Um, really, there's about 4 or 5. Is that?
Let's see here. Well, so she didn't start it. Remember, she had to take it
Oh, that's right. She
over
took it over from the other
because the
lady.
person that got fired, right? Or
Yeah.
forced to retire or something. So we've got Nora, Arthur, Ash, Phyllis, and Michael. So yeah, 5.
Is it Nora or Nova?
Nova. I, I think it corrected, or I don't know what I was doing. It's okay. The dog's name is Caddick, and I thought it was Craddock the whole time.
It's
Because
Caddick? I thought it was Craddock.
yeah, well,
It's
I think
Craddock.
okay, that I was somewhere said it was. I thought it was on Goodreads. I might have just because I was like, Caddick, what the heck is that? I was like, I don't remember that. I was looking up because I was already forgetting names, and I was like, and the list of names, and it listed his name spelled like that. And I was like, what? Because, well, now it has me thinking, hopefully none of the rest. Well, then some of them, they came back to me. Like I was like,
Uh-huh.
Cynthia's the wife, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we're going all over. And then Essie was the wife, right? Like,
Yes.
okay. So, okay. Anyway. All right. Yes. So Nova, not Nora. Anyway, I'm glad
Or
we
she
cleared
could
that
be
up.
Nora. I feel like Nora fits her personality
Yeah.
more so than Nova, honestly.
Yeah. But anyway, go back to what you're saying. So she is running this book club.
So she's running this book club. One of the characters leaves during the middle of the book club, and
Michael.
They all finish the book club, leave, and then the next day they discover that money has gone missing, and it's the money for the community center that they've raised to fix the roof. So
it's like 10,000 pounds or something.
yes. And so they've been robbed, all this stuff. And then they go to confront Michael because they think he's the one, he was the only one there. And they had done security footage and didn't see anyone coming and going.
They had not gone to confront him. It was Phyllis went to confront him.
That's right. So first it was Phyllis that went to confront him. And
but she thought he was dead because they was
pulling a body out. So she gets to his house and they're pulling out a body, and she's like, oh no, he died. And so being Phyllis is this, she's really cantankerous, and I became in love with her the further along we read in the story. And I loved everything about her and all of her hard outer shell and her soft gooey layers. Like, she was just one of those characters that you fall in love with as you read. And all of a sudden it all becomes, it makes sense. But
you know who I pictured, even though this is not the description, but the type of character, and Steel Magnolias, Weezer's character, where she's like, she is going to tell you exactly how it is. She's going to have no filter. She knows best of everyone. You are not going to tell her. She's going to bring her dog. And then in Steel Magnolias,
oh my gosh, and she does bring the dog.
She does bring the dog. Phyllis is this cantankerous woman, and she's obsessed with Agatha Christie. She has read every Agatha Christie book ever written, which goals. And she's older, and she's a spinster, but there's more to her than that. And I love how we get to, like you said, she peels back the layers, and she's really a softie on the inside.
Yes. But she is a busybody.
Oh, she is.
And she wants to, and you kind of find out as you go along that she's in everybody's business, and she's watching everything because she doesn't really have much of a life.
She doesn't.
So she doesn't have people who care about her. And so she kind of inserts herself into other people's lives as a way of feeling like she has people around her.
Yes, she does. And this book club, kind of like we said, this community center means a lot to all the people in this book club. They're all kind of misfits. And again, at the beginning, we don't really get why they're all there, because we get why Arthur is there. So Arthur is an elderly man that I assume he's retired, and he has a wife at home who can't really see. So he reads books to her. But then he goes to this book club too. And the books that she always wants to read are like the romance books,
Mhm.
like Bridgerton has mentioned.
Mhm.
And he's come to love those too. And then we have Ash, the teenager, that you can't really get a read on because he doesn't say anything. We've got Phyllis, who talks more than anyone. We've got Michael, who also doesn't really say anything and seems pissed off to be there, but he's there. And then,
Nova.
we've got Nova. So, yeah.
They're a happy little band, a weird misfit band together. And Nova,
Mm-hmm.
she dresses like 1940s, 1950s. She's really
Yes.
into kind of like an alternative look, kind of
Yes.
the retro everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she is in the process of getting married. So her
Yes.
wedding is coming up in just a couple of weeks as the book starts. And she's marrying Craig, who is
Mm-hmm.
just the worst.
And so is his family. Like this whole time, I'm like, why
Yes.
is she wanting to marry this man?
And
Like,
she's been with him for years. And
yeah.
her father has recently died, and he has been
Mm-hmm.
there with, through her father's death and helped her.
Mm-hmm. And
And
then
her
she had
mom is kind of finding herself again.
in South America.
Yes.
But she also went through a traumatic experience at her previous
Yes.
job. And so, I mean, it makes sense when you've got someone that has been with you through some serious stuff, there might be a sense
Yes.
of obligation or just like this is the steady thing in my life. I can understand
Mhm.
that. Like,
And he also was good friends with her dad. Like they
yes.
knew each other, and her dad approved of him. And I'm sure that
That
because
yeah.
that makes a difference. It really
Mhm.
does.
And it probably I mean, I can only imagine that her be like the thought of, well, being with someone else that my dad didn't approve when I've got this great
Hmm.
guy who on paper, he seems great,
Yeah.
but he did not act great. Like, he did not act great at all. And
No.
his best friend that he grew up with in the small town, Lauren, right?
Hmm.
That's her name. She works at the community center too. And I think that she helped Nova get her job.
Yes.
And so we've got Lauren and Nova, and then Sandy runs the center, right?
Hmm.
Okay. So that's who all works at the center. And like basically right after the book starts, everything comes kind of crashing down because,
The
they're looking
wedding's
at
coming up.
Nova.
The money
Like,
is missing, and
yeah.
you're right.
And
They do start
Michael,
blaming Nova.
yeah, yeah. So we don't know. And then they're also looking at Michael, and then as it turns out, Michael isn't dead, it's his mom. So then it turns into did he kill his mom and run away with the money? And
Mhm.
we don't
And where is he
know.
now? And him and his wife had an argument,
Yeah.
and Phyllis's brain just, she's into this Agatha Christie mode, and she's like, well,
Mhm.
Miss Marple would do this.
Yes. Yeah,
And
that's the thing. She was obsessed with Miss Marple. She did
well,
not
I think
like
she sees
Hercule
herself
Poirot. Oh,
as Miss Marple.
totally. Yes, which
And
if you don't
she doesn't see
know,
herself as a busybody. She sees
no,
herself as
self
Miss
is.
Marple.
And like if you don't know Miss Marple is a spinster as well.
Hmm.
And so she definitely identified with her living in a small town and, trying to solve the mysteries or wanting to. And I loved
Hmm.
all the references, but I think it's
Yes.
hysterical that she did not like Hercule Poirot. She thought he was arrogant, which he is. Like, that is kind of
Yes.
his thing. And she didn't like that he just came in and was just like, in her mind, he inserted himself into everything and then figured it all out. And in her mind, that's not what Miss Marple did, and that's not what she's doing, but it's totally what Miss Marple does
Yes.
too, just in a
Different manner.
more in a different manner. She pretends to. I mean, she acts like the little old lady character because she is a little old lady, more so than Phyllis can pull off. Phyllis does not pull off the little old lady who doesn't.
No.
I mean, they dismiss. She's dismissed because of how
She's
she
older.
is.
Yeah.
And we do find out along the way that she's not allowed to call the police anymore about any of her.
Because they're like, we're done with you.
Yeah, like no more tips, no more concerns. They're like, we will put you in jail for what was it, 6 months to a year or
Yes.
something. And so she can't leave Craddock. So yeah,
And Craddock
she
is her
can't.
her dog that is horribly like, he's just an oddball. Like, he fits her so well because he farts all the time. Like, he
Yes.
smells, and everybody comments that he smells. He eats
Yep.
random things. Like, he's just. And there is a scene where something bad happens to the dog,
Yes.
but the dog does
But
not die.
yeah, so like it was really funny because of course Leyna and Emily were like, don't worry, there's going to be a moment, but the dog's okay because they
Which
know I cannot do it.
I had finished reading it first, and then Emily was like, okay, something just happened to the dog. You have to tell me right now. Does the dog live or does the dog die?
Yes.
So I
And then
gave that
they
away
were
for
like,
her.
then they were like, oh, we got to make
Tell
sure
you.
LJ knows. They were like, because they know I would be like, they would have received a text where I was like, if anything happens to the dog, this book is getting very few stars. So yeah,
And
but
this is
nothing happened.
a book about books too, because there are
It
several
is
references to different books. Bridgerton,
in
as you
different
mentioned,
genres.
is in there. Agatha Christie. I'm trying to think what else pops
Ursula Le
up.
Guin.
Yes,
At
because
the
we
end.
talked about that we need to read some of hers because this is like the second or third time that has
It
popped up.
is. And the one that was mentioned, I highlighted in there
Good,
is
because
the one that
yeah.
I'm pretty sure is the one also mentioned in the Jane Austen Book Club movie.
Okay.
So I really need to read that one.
Maybe we should make that
anyway.
on our next year book club
Definitely.
pick.
I think we should.
That would
I
be
forget
good.
what it's called. All right. The Left Hand of Darkness. That's the one that I feel like I've heard so many times.
I think we should put that on there.
I think we should. And we will.
Yeah, it was a good book. And Ash, we haven't really talked much about him, but he is a teenager who's extremely shy. And it turns out he has joined the book club because another person in his class likes books. And so he wants to have something to talk with them about.
Yes, and it's so sweet.
It's so sweet. Like, it's so sweet. And Arthur and Ash bond because Arthur is like, I met my wife and I thought she was out of my league, and I read books because she read books. So that's kind of how they started. And then Ash and his crush Dan start doing that as well. So it's very sweet. I really enjoyed
Arthur
that part.
is just adorable because they're gonna read a Bridgerton book for their book club. So Ash is at the library getting it, and Arthur runs into him, and then the crush shows up. So then Arthur realizes that perhaps it's not cool to be reading this book. And so he pretends to be his grandfather and is like, oh, thank you for finding me the book, so that he wouldn't be embarrassed.
And he says it's for the grandmother. So
yes,
like they both play it off, and yeah, it's very sweet.
Cute.
And Arthur becomes an integral part of all of this. Yeah. And he had stumbled into the book club because he was looking for a caretakers group for his wife to kind of talk about the difficulties of caretaking. And then he ended up in the wrong room. But I think he had happened to have read that book to his wife, so he stayed and did it.
Right.
So he's just kind of bumbling along. I think
he's my favorite character.
I pictured like an Arthur Weasley in my head. Just kind of that like deeply devoted, maybe not the brightest tool in the shed, but interested in certain things and willing to work hard. Like, he just seemed like a good family man, and he cared about the people around him.
And he really did. He stepped in a sense with each of them in a way, like,
in a way that
gave them
needed.
what they needed, in a way that they needed. And I mean, that comes from he's lived a long life, so he has a lot of experience with people and everything. And I just thought it was sweet. So
it was really sweet.
It was so sweet.
And I wish we could give spoilers away, but I don't. I really feel like you need to read this. And if you,
I don't want to give away spoilers. I kind of like
what
that
happens.
It'll ruin it.
Yes, but I thought it was a 5-star read.
I gave it 4 stars, but I did love it.
I gave it 5 stars.
Look at you. Look at me being harder. I don't know.
Like, what did I read?
Here's what I will say that I don't know. I think you might agree with this. This is one where the main character was like my least
4.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
Okay.
Nova was not my favorite. In fact, I found her very annoying.
She was a little bit annoying.
And I get it. She's on her road to
self-discovery.
She's in a weird, I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe I didn't love her because I could see myself in not the same season, but in some ways a similar season at one
Mhm.
point, and I did not like the decisions that looking back, like, that I made, and so I could kind of identify with that in a
Yeah.
sense, and I'm like, I wanted to shake her, but I think
I
maybe a
I
little
think
bit.
for
Maybe
me,
that's why is that I'm like, I was annoyed with myself, so I could be annoyed with her.
she was dating someone, getting married to them, and she had a lot of, I don't know if it was second guessing, but
Yeah. She seemed wishy-washy on
she
everything.
wasn't putting herself out there. So she
No.
was letting her future mother-in-law, Pamela, like run the show
Mhm.
and was doing basically whatever she said for the wedding because she was
Yep.
like, it's too much hassle to deal with her. So I'll just
Right.
give in and let her do what she wants. But because of that, she had just bowed out of everything and nothing
Mhm.
was for her. Um, it felt very much like she was not an active participant in
Right,
her
and I
own
mean,
wedding.
they say that in the book.
And it felt like her fiance could be marrying anybody. And it
Right.
was just like, insert life here. Um,
Yeah.
and she had just given up so much of herself. And I was so frustrated when every time she was like, well, I can't do that because I don't want to, cause waves. And it's
Right.
like, no, but you deserve this. And I think that's part of it is
Yeah.
she was not confident in herself.
Mhm.
And I think even if her fiance would love her for who she really was.
Right.
And
Right.
he's not the greatest guy, in my opinion, especially
No.
at the end of the story, whenever like kind of the big reveals happen and everything.
Yeah.
He is just such a
He's
jerk.
awful.
He's
He's such a
rude.
jerk.
And I'm like, no, she is way better than him.
Yeah. Like, I think he in some ways, like, we could pick up at the beginning that he was not the greatest guy, but I think he was raised in a family where, like, appearances matter most. It drove them all crazy how she dressed. Even he was like, "Maybe you should dress, more normal or more modern," and it's like, if you're gonna I mean, I've only had 2 relationships, but neither of them ever commented on my clothes other than to let me know what they thought, like, if it like, so I sometimes will wear looser tops because I'm self-conscious that I gained weight. Actually, now I wear more fitted stuff, I think, than I did when I was thin, but when I was thin, I also was, like, I don't know, like, obsessive on everything with my body and not confident in my body, which is so sad to look back. I'm like, "You should have really enjoyed it, you look so good." But, and that was the only comment that my ex was like, "I like it when you wear more form-fitted stuff so I can see your body." And he didn't mean it in a gross way, just in a,
Yeah.
like, you're hiding your body. And I don't think my ex-boyfriend ever said anything negative about my body, which is great either, like, so, like, I've never had someone comment on my clothing, and I'd be like, "What do you think?" And they're guys, they'd be like, I don't know," like,
Derek always hates it when I ask, like, what do you think about this outfit?
Oh, yeah.
Because usually
No, I
I'll listen to what he has to say and then just
Mhm.
totally ignore it. And he's like,
Yeah,
why are
right.
you even asking me if
Why
you're
are you
just
even
going to
asking?
ignore what I say?
Right,
But
and so but I don't like that they commented on that stuff,
yes.
like and
He
they
didn't seem like he
clearly
was happy with her. And
No.
that was, I think, the biggest part of it. It was like, why are you guys getting married again? And it
Yeah,
didn't seem like, maybe it wasn't that I didn't like her. It was that I didn't like the situation that the author put
yeah.
her in.
Or her with him,
Yes.
like, how she was with him, and, I mean, yeah, like,
There's
I
only
don't
so
think
much you
sh
can compromise in a relationship. Like, you shouldn't have to compromise who you are. Like,
Right.
there's in any relationship, there's going to be, a certain amount of compromise.
Of course, but
Just,
you don't compromise your, like, innate self, like,
yes,
you're still you. You might have to compromise, like, how you do things, but you shouldn't have to change who you are for someone, and by
correct.
that I mean, like, I don't think our habits are who we are. I think we have choices in that, but, like, because like, I don't know, like, I think I am if we just say, like, just a basic silly thing, like, I'm an extrovert, but I also have introvert tendencies. I don't think like, I was with someone who I think due to life circumstances was not living their extrovert life. They were more introverted in certain ways, and that was different. That was a stylistic thing. We could
Hmm.
both choose to some degree. But at the same time, like if you're an introvert, like I shouldn't force someone if you're like, "No, I'm not going to be chatty with people ever," then I shouldn't expect you to change that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think he wanted
he wanted a different person.
he wanted a trophy wife is what he
Yes.
wanted. And clearly she was beautiful, but she did not meet what he thought a trophy wife should be, or his family.
I think that they even say that, towards the end was that he wanted someone to go do pub quizzes with his family and, be okay because they're living with his parents at the start of the book just so they can save money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that would be really rough. So not only does she have all of this tension with her work accusing her of possibly stealing stuff, one of the characters, Sandy, ends up, who runs the center, she ends up getting hurt.
Yes.
And again, Nova is blamed for that. So she has all that going on, plus planning a wedding, plus
and
all
he
the book
thinks she's
club members are
selfish.
getting into hijinks.
And he thinks she's being selfish by focusing. Like, I can't imagine if I was having drama like this at work, that is all I would be able to be focused on. And I would hope that my partner would get that and be
Yes.
like, okay, like, and in that situation too, like the fact, like, there are just some different things that he's like, you didn't do this and you didn't do that. And all these things that I'm like, okay, some of that stuff you could do.
Right.
Like, things you're getting mad at her about are not things that
are solely
you
her
should get-
responsibility.
And I'm sorry, she had a dress she wanted to wear to her wedding. And because your mother, like, didn't approve of that, don't get mad at her that she wasn't, like, that doesn't mean she's not excited about her wedding dress or her wedding. It means she's not excited about the fact that someone is telling her how her wedding should be rather than herself, because it's her wedding. So
Anyway,
yeah.
I thought it was a fun book.
It was.
I would recommend it as like a fall read. I
would too.
I can feel this with like a cup of like hot apple cider. That just sounds really delicious. And a blanket and reading this cozy mystery.
It was fun. It was very enjoyable. I could not, you really can't put it down. Like, it's not like a, oh my gosh, like speed through, but at the same time, it's just delightful and you want to know what happens.
And that, I think, because there's so much stuff that's revealed as you go along.
Yes.
And you're finding out about these characters and you're just like, okay, so how does that affect X, Y, and Z now? Where is this going to lead to? So that was really fun to read about.
And I will say, I did not figure out the ending.
I didn't either. I had guessed certain parts.
Yeah.
Like, I did not guess who the killer was.
I did not guess that. And I didn't guess really any of it. So, yeah. Anyway.
Well, do you have anything else to talk about this book? I think we've kind of covered it, honestly.
I think we did without giving anything away. Yeah.
And really, you'll fall in love with these characters. And I wish that we could read more about them.
I know.
It's one of those where the characters were so endearing. I'm like, I want to see what happens next for them.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we got a little peek, but not enough. We do have to know. All right.
Well, until next time.
Until next time, yes. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening, and we will see you later. Bye.
Bye. So thank you for listening to More Than a Book Club podcast. We are recorded and produced in McKinney, Texas.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.